friends. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of
Hello, I'm Runya, aka Media Adaptation, and welcome back to Moderation while me is her game. And it's Friday, so that means it's time once again to look at the supposedly lost 80s anime Go for a Punch, aka Saki Sanobashi. The story of people dying in a bathroom. I couldn't think of anything clever to say this time. Last week, we started talking about the story of the Clockman, and how it was finally found after all those years later. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you the opposite sides of the stories like that. So today, let's talk a little bit about the tale of the grifter. Back in 2009, on the X section of 4chan, a story was given about a lost movie called The Grifter, which contained graphic and disturbing images that messed up those who sought to watch it. Sound familiar? It only took about a month or so before people discovered that the images that they used were taken from a lesser-known Japanese movie that wasn't even horror-related. So, to flat out say that Saki could have been made up wouldn't be completely out of the question. Nor am I saying that it's real. I'm just trying to give both sides of the argument a fair chance. But anyway, we're here for the hunt, so let's get down to it. Last week we had a mystery image, but sadly it's still yet to be identified. It seems like it could have came from a number of sources, which makes our normal means of finding it all the more difficult. But we did get another one this week, of a bunch of girls chained up in a room, which I found the answer to as I was writing the script. It's from a hentai called Slave Bianca. It's mostly set in the Victorian period. A young lord with purple hair buys her and takes her back to his castle. And you can probably fill in the blanks of what happens next. Actually, when I first saw this image, I thought it was the 1987 Legend of Limnir. The three strongest warriors protect the land, and the Warrior of Gold clashed against an unknown force, and then fell silent. A new Dark Lord arose, and attacked the village looking for the second strongest, Silver. He laid waste to the village. Unable to find her, he took Bronze as his prisoner. Our Saki-looking girl is Silver, and she gets captured by one of the generals. He uses mind control to try and seduce her, but she breaks free and kills him before confronting our Dark Lord, who turns out to be what's left of Gold. He exhorts Bronze and seeks to do the same to her, and he just wrecks her before delivering the final blow. But wait, you all are forgetting about bullshit main character powers. The blast he used came from Bronze, who used his powers to resurrect her, as well as himself. Gold then turns into a giant monster, and the two team up and hit his weak spot for massive damage. Well, it had all the elements that we were looking for. A light-haired girl, imprisonment, boobs, and blood. But sadly, not Saki. Someone has also noted the similarities that this story had with the 1999 Japanese horror movie called Red Room, where a bunch of people are trapped in a room, and they end up torturing and killing each other. Again, we'll probably have to add this to our Thursday videos, but this story is different, as they're all there willingly, and they each have to do a set of tasks, kinda like Truth or Dare, in order to win a cash prize. Or something like that. I haven't actually watched it myself. Again, we'll probably do so at another date. But anyway, let's get to the anime. As someone else suggested, the 1991 film Dark Cat. And wow, this is another painfully bad one to sit through. Demons killing other demons, but our titular Dark Cats try and save them. But everyone else just turns into giant tentacle monsters anyway. The art style is bad even for the time period, and the English dub is something that should come with its own drinking game. And we get the return of the suspiciously shaped mouth tentacles, which itself has been done better in other stories. I still vote that my favorite so far is probably from Curse, since it also came with a monstrous form attached to it. And our next suggestion is from 1996, the anime X, which, while looking nice, is a testament on how you can't turn 18 volumes of a manga into a less than 2-hour runtime. Earth is split into two factions, the Dragons of Heaven and the Dragons of Earth, and the end result is some nice looking fights without any real connection to the characters. Our main is destined to choose a side, and its best friend is fated to join the opposite. And it's mostly mindless slaughter. As for the gore, we get crucifixion and decapitation. And remember a few weeks ago when we had a girl who took an energy ball up the snatch? Well, here it's a pair of swords that are being pulled from there. I've heard about deep pockets, but I don't think that's what they meant. And the last one before we move on, someone suggested that the plot of Sakai was similar to the hentai called Desert Island Story XX from 1999, which involves a group of people getting stuck on an island where they did research into personality altering. The person who they tested on escaped and killed the rest of the staff. And due to the experiments, his personality keeps changing. But that's pretty much the story. A little blood at the start, but that's basically it. So now it's time to look at a bunch of Goro mangas that we got off a random torrent. And someone last time asked why we didn't go into more detail about them. And did you guys really want to know about the baby in the blender? I didn't think so. Well, first let's knock off this 3-set that we have called Tokyo Red Hood by Binkoyo Tamioki, and it's about a seemingly immortal psychopathic lolly who goes by the alias Red Riding Hood and is trying to find the fabled wolf, aka the only person who can kill her, to finally end her suffering. The weird thing is that if you just remove all the nudity, this one kinda plays out similar to Hellsing, and I'm halfway tempted to actually give this one a full review later down the line. But something about this seems familiar. Wait, let me check about this. Actually, the artist is the same guy who did Blood the Last Vampire from 2000. Neat. And our next pair is called Drainage City by Hori Honi Saizo, which is monsters mixed with body horror. And the next one's called Hole of the Flesh, which again would be classified as body horror. The next from him is called Milk Age, and it's a cowgirl. I see a pattern for me. So let's just skim to the next ones. The Secret Dog God Kokokoko-chan, which is pretty much the same. Yuki-chan's Insemination Day, back to Monster Girl, and finally Zoro Zoro Doro Doro, which goes back to the body horror. I really felt like we started off strong and just fell into mediocrity. And that finally brings our count down to 25 remaining. It finally seems like we're making a dent in this thing. And that about does it for this video. If you have any other ideas like seeing made into a video, then please post it down in the comments below, and we'll add it to our next viewer request week.
It's now time for the part of the show where we ask you to help us appease the YouTube algorithm by dropping a like, share, or comment. It helps out much more than you'd think.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, then it's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to support this channel, then please visit our Patreon. Link will be down in the description below. Even if you can't give a lot, every little bit helps. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, I'm Runya.
And I'm Ada.
Reminding you to take life in moderation.
Weep not, poor children, for life is this way, murdering beauty and passion. Hush now, dear children, it must be this way, to weary of life and deceptions. Rest now, my children.